Broadcasting live from the Jersey Shore, it's Coach Kev on the Damage 365 Radio Network.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Damage 365 Radio. I am your host, Coach Kev, flying solo today for episode number 39. I hoped that everybody enjoyed the episode number 38 with Big Van Vader earlier today, as we put that out for public viewing, I guess you can say. So far, good turnout, so a lot of people are really into that interview. So if you haven't checked it out yet, go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/damage365, and click on the link with Big Van Vader. A nice 30-plus minute interview with the former Super Bowl champion and former three-time WCW World Heavyweight Champion. Again, that's Big Van Vader. Today on the show, we'll have Kat Von Heez around the 6:25 hour. Until then, we have a great show in line for you today, including a birthday shout-outs. We do have a somber announcement to make regarding a fallen member of our extended Damage Athletics softball family. We'll also get into a little Warriors of Wrestling last night in Staten Island, New York, an outdoor wrestling event. Spectacular thing that went on yesterday. It was pretty damn awesome. We'll try to get into our Damage 365 Radio and ECW Originals tour that's going to be taking place from September to November, and who we'll be traveling with. We'll recap round number 2 results of the Intercontinental Championship tournament, and we will be announcing a brand new show that will be debuting on September 7th. That's Sunday, September 7th at 5 p.m. A brand new show and a brand new part of the Damage 365 Radio Network. Without further ado, let's get this party started. So sit back, relax, as we get some birthday shout-outs in the house. Some birthday shout-outs out there, ladies and gentlemen. Happy birthday goes out to Damage alum Mike Scrappy Scaparo. Happy birthday to Damage alum and former team captain Paul Churchio Sr. And happy birthday to Damage alum Joe Chic Morales Jr. Happy birthday to alumni softball league mate Jamie Leston of the Champion Furials. And happy birthday goes out to a former guest of ours, Renee Michelle. Happy birthday to everybody celebrating their birthdays out there with Damage 365 Radio this past week. As I said earlier, we have a kind of some bad news that we need to pass along to the Damage extended family, and that means, Damage 365 Radio, Damage Athletics Softball, the Damage Athletics LLC company itself. Sympathies and prayers go out to the family of one of our fallen members of our Damage Athletic team, former infielder from our 1997 team. Number 1, Eric Constantino, passed away this past week at the tender age of 41. We posted details on the Damage Athletics pages, past, present, and today, and our current team page. Also on damageathletics.net, we posted a picture of her jersey as a tribute to one of our fallen family members. All the information I put out on Facebook for the viewings and the funerals. Monday in Staten Island will be 2 to 4 and 7 to 9, and then the funeral will be Tuesday morning, following a service at the funeral home. So, anybody who had the pleasure of knowing and playing softball with Erica, sympathies and prayers go out to you. One of our former teammates, Carl Constantino, that was his ex-wife and the mother to his children. So we want to make sure that we get some extended sympathies out to not only her family but to his family and his children. So it's a tough thing to cope with, and with family and friends around them, we hope that they pull through. And it's sad. It really is. 41 years old, way too early. Kind of hits me a little because I'm right near that age, and it's way too early to lose a friend that close in age. And it's just nothing else I really can say about it. But just sympathies go out to the Constantino family and Erica's family. Dead at the age of 41. Okay, at this time, we'd like to send over our results for the Intercontinental Championship tournament. This was the results of, I guess you could say, round number 2. As we said, round number 1 was a little unorthodox. Only 8 brackets moved on. Now all 64 remaining wrestlers were in round 2. And here we go. It was Chris Jericho defeating Wade Barrett. It was... I'm sorry. Helps if I read the correct bracket. It was Chris Jericho defeating Test, and Wade Barrett defeating D'Lo Brown, setting up round 3s. Chris Jericho versus Wade Barrett. So helps if I say it right. Yes, it does. Moving on to the next bracket, it was Shawn Michaels defeating Pat Patterson. And it was Jeff Hardy defeating Santino Marella, setting up Shawn Michaels versus Jeff Hardy. Ken Shamrock defeated the Mountie, and it was Kofi Kingston defeating Rikishi, setting up Ken Shamrock versus Kofi Kingston. William Regal knocked off Kane, and the Ultimate Warrior defeated Shelton Benjamin. William Regal versus Ultimate Warrior in round number 3. Ravishing Rick Rude defeated Kurt Angle, and Alberto Del Rio, and maybe an upset, defeated Stone Cold Steve Austin, setting up Rick Rude versus Mexico's biggest export, Alberto Del Rio. Triple H defeated Goldust, and Rob Van Dam defeated Albert, setting up Triple H versus No Job Rob Van Dam. The Big Show defeated Umaga, and Edge defeated Carlito, setting up The Big Show versus Edge. The Honky Tonk Man, he defeated Drew McIntyre, while Lance Storm knocked off Johnny Nitro. So it will be the longest reigning ever Intercontinental Champion Honky Tonk Man against Canada's Lance Storm. The defending champion, the Macho Man Randy Savage, moves on as he defeated his longtime nemesis and WrestleMania 3 opponent, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And he moves on to take on Randy Orton because he knocked off the only female in the bracket, but now the female out of the bracket, Chyna. It was Ken Patera knocking off Rowdy Roddy Piper, and it was CM Punk defeating the Road Dogg. So it will be Olympian Ken Patera against CM Punk. Owen Hart defeated Diesel, and Rey Mysterio defeated Booker T, setting up Owen Hart versus Rey Mysterio. Christian defeated Billy Gunn, and Jeff Jarrett defeated Davey Boy Smith, setting up Jeff Jarrett and Christian. That Canadian guy defeated the original Rock, Don Morocco, and Cody Rhodes knocks off the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. So that Canadian guy moves on to face Cody Rhodes. Pedro Morales defeated Shane Douglas, and it was Bret the Hitman Hart knocking off Ezekiel Jackson, setting up Pedro Morales versus Bret the Hitman Hart. It was Greg the Hammer Valentine knocking off Kerry Von Erich, and it was Razor Ramon defeating Val Venus, setting up Greg the Hammer Valentine against Razor Ramon. Dwayne The Rock Johnson defeated Marty Jannetty, and Tito Santana knocked off The Godfather, setting up Tito Santana versus The Rock Dwayne Johnson. So let's recap real quick. Santana versus Dwayne Johnson. Razor Ramon versus Greg the Hammer. Bret the Hitman versus Pedro Morales. Cody Rhodes versus that Canadian guy. Jeff Jarrett versus Christian. Rey Mysterio versus Owen Hart. CM Punk versus Ken Patera. Randy Orton versus the Macho Man Randy Savage. Lance Storm versus the Honky Tonk Man. The Big Show versus Edge. Triple H versus Rob Van Dam. Alberto Del Rio versus Ravishing Rick Rude. The Ultimate Warrior versus William Regal. Ken Shamrock versus Kofi Kingston. Jeff Hardy versus Shawn Michaels. And last but not least, it will be Chris Jericho taking on Wade Barrett. So it is round number 3 in a nutshell. And obviously, the winners of these matches will be announced next week on the show. For now, after the show, you can view this entire bracket up to par at our Facebook page at facebook.com/Damage365. There will be a picture of the Intercontinental Championship belt and a link above it where you can go and check out the bracket of 72 that has just gotten shrunken down to 32. So enjoy that. Hope you enjoyed the music in the background, because that was Breaking Out of Love Part 2 by Leia Bear. Beautiful young lady from the UK. We've been playing her song quite often because it's quite awesome. And so let's move on. Let's keep this momentum going. We got some momentum, and we're a little ahead of the time here. But little Warriors of Wrestling last night from Staten Island, New York, live from the Staten Island Youth Football Field in Travis. It was pretty cool. I will say that. I never been to a wrestling event that was outdoors, and I was told that it was really cool in years past, and it lived up to the hype. That's for sure. Of course, it gets dark. It starts at 7 o'clock. By probably almost maybe a little bit before intermission, it's dark, and the lights are on in the football field, and it's really cool to watch. The kids loved every minute of it, and quick thinking on our parts at the Damage 365 radio table as we decided to bring some light sticks to sell to the kids. And they were having fun waving those light sticks around, cheering for their favorite WoW wrestler, and they got to see some titles change hands, and they had a lot of fun. A great job, as always, by Joey B, the president of Warriors of Wrestling, and he does a really good job putting together a really good show. He's got a really, really good roster of very loyal and devoted guys, and they put on a really good show. But, I mean, you saw former WWE stars, former TNA stars, former ECW stars that were there, which was really cool. And, anybody who knows me, I'm not a starstruck person, so it's just, I just like to live in a moment. And when you're sitting there at your table and you have, Rhino and Matt Stryker sitting next to you, shooting the breeze with you, it's a very respectful feeling, because they don't look down on you. They treat you as kind of the family. But former ECW's the Blue Meanie was in the house. Former WWE stars Crime Time were there. Tony Nese, Danny Doring, former TNA Knockout Rosita, aforementioned former WWE star Matt Stryker, and former ECW legend Rhino, all in the house. Earlier in the show, TNA star Robbie E was there to sign some autographs. He didn't do a match, but he was there, just to do a meet and greet. So it was pretty cool. The kids got a kick out of it. I